3 years ago, I made a video listing some pros and cons about living in Braselton, Georgia. And like all of Metro Atlanta, this town is growing. But has the growth been too much? Has Braselton lost its small town charm? Let's see what this North Atlanta suburb looks like in 2026. But that's not all. In this video, I'll also give you some extra insight into recent home sales in Braselton, a bit of a current home buying information that you won't want to miss. Hey guys, I'm Tim Trevathan with Tim Trevathan Homes, helping people from all over the country find their dream home. If you're new to my channel, be sure to keep following as I answer a lot of pressing questions related to the housing market and areas around Metro Atlanta that are good to know, whether it means buying a home there or staying away from it completely. I typically tell people that North Atlanta is the best of Atlanta, and to prove it today, I'm going to revisit one of the most unique and desirable North Atlanta suburbs, Braselton, Georgia. The town of Braselton is 49 miles from Atlanta, which makes it a relatively easy commute as it's right off Interstate 85. Braselton is also kind of an anomaly because it sits right at the corners of 4 different counties. That's right, 4, and later I'll tell you why that's good and bad. As for the town itself, there's just so much quality of life here, which makes Braselton appealing to home buyers and to developers as well. So the landscape has been changing in the last 3 years, but has it changed too much? Let's find out. 3 years ago, I told you that the pro number 1 on my pro-con list was that unlike almost all the other towns and cities around it, Braselton homeowners are not on the hook for city property taxes, just county taxes. And fortunately, that's still true today. Nearby Winder, Dekalb, Buford, and now Hoshton residents have that double whammy of both municipal and county property taxes each year. So to house hunters, that could definitely move Braselton up on your list. Here's something else that might perk your ears. Today's number 2 pro, lots of new homes for sale. A definite pro, I would say. And don't be fooled by the historic downtown area. There are plenty of new home developments and subdivisions like Braselton Village or Liberty Crossing, both with a ton of their own community amenities like swimming pools, clubhouses, tennis or pickleball courts, and playgrounds. How about a new home with an interesting perk? The Vines at Mill Creek offers new energy efficient move-in ready homes with a forward-thinking take. This builder has included washers and dryers, refrigerators, and even pre-installed blinds for the entire home. No more naked windows right after the move-in. Of course, legacy real estate in more established neighborhoods gives you even more homes to choose from. I should also point out that Braselton doesn't have a whole lot of townhouses for sale. It is mostly single-family homes. And the current listings range from the mid-300,000s to a little over $3 million at the very top end. Luckily, the median home listing price of properties currently for sale in Braselton is only $469,000, which is another big pro on our list as it was 3 years ago, affordability. Now, here's that recent home closing data I told you about earlier. This may give you a competitive edge when putting in your offer on a home. In the last 90 days or so, homes in Braselton have sold at 96% of their original list price, meaning they are selling for 4% below their asking price. Recent home sales in Braselton have also had sellers contributing to the closing cost, a median amount of $7,500, with many upwards of $10,000. These numbers are very encouraging for buyers in today's market if you want to be able to save upfront costs and only have to come out of your pocket, ideally, just your down payment. Now, I keep talking about changes. Have the new homes and the upcoming developments stripped Braselton of its small town feel? Probably the biggest issue with change, and our first con on today's list, is growth. Both the landscape and the population of Braselton continue to increase. The town's population has swelled by a little more than 5% every year. The 2026 population is estimated to be just over 19,000 people. Pull up the ladder, they found our tree house. Because it's not so fun when road widening has caught up with the new homes that were built, or all the people that are now driving on those roads. To give you a sense of it, there are 2 main exits off of I-85 for Braselton. One is at Highway 211 and the next exit up I-85 and Highways 403 and 53. Both those major intersections have road sections that are closed off as they work on the road widening and roundabouts that are being inserted. Eventually, the projects will alleviate the traffic strain, but until the work is complete, these two major areas are ripe for quagmires, especially during rush hour. Another con, which I mentioned in my video 3 years ago, is that some of the most sought-after national brand retailers do not have a presence in Braselton still. Target, Walmart, TJ Maxx, Costco, Home Depot, Best Buy. When you want to shop at any of these chains, you'll have to drive to nearby cities like Flowery Branch or even Beaufort. But all is not lost because of development. Yes, there's that D word again. Publix grocery store has been in town for years, but it's now in a new location, and at the old location will be a new Sprouts Farmers Market, opening this year or in 2027. Discount retailer Ross Dress for Less is rumored to open in the same plaza, and other large shopping centers are in development and are breaking ground to bring even more growth. Slowly but surely, several big name restaurant and department store chains are coming. They just aren't in yet. So far, what we're seeing is that Braselton is kind of a hodgepodge of small town charm and suburban growth, but will it be too much? To add another con to our pro-con list, there is a definite hodgepodge factor in terms of Braselton's government. I mentioned that the town occupies Barrow, Gwinnett, Hall, and Jackson counties. Living here means you could live in any one of those 4 counties, and that will require research for almost everything you do. Your property taxes, the DMV, utilities, or zoning laws and ordinances. Even where you get your mail can be mind-boggling. For example, you could have a Braselton mailing address, but people on the other side of town could have a Hoshton, Flowery Branch, or even a Beaufort mailing address, despite all of you being within the Braselton town limits. Basically, just be sure to research and ask local officials if you have any questions at all about what is required of you as a new Braselton resident. Now, here's a semi-con. I say semi because on the surface, it appears that only a quarter of Braselton may be super desirable to parents. Did your eyes light up when you heard Gwinnett was one of Braselton's 4 counties? It's true, Gwinnett County has that reputation of having some of the best public schools in the state. But a possible negative is that of Braselton's 4 counties, the homes in Gwinnett tend to be the most expensive. Does that mean families will be priced out of this market? Maybe, unless you're shopping in the $500,000 plus range. But in terms of public schools, while everyone is crowing about Gwinnett, Barrow County has decent schools and one huge standout, the Barrow Arts and Sciences Academy in the neighboring city of Winder. It has been ranked among the top high schools in both Georgia and the country, and it's in the Barrow County school system, which means if you live in the Barrow County portion of Braselton, you can apply. Enrollment is not guaranteed, of course, but it is an option. Braselton homes in Barrow, Hall, and Jackson counties all start around $400,000 and go up from there. And it might also interest you to know that both Hall and Jackson County have solid above average public schools. Plus, the state of Georgia generally allows transfer to schools in your district as long as there is room. So your child's fate is not tied to where exactly in Braselton you call home. Well, you've heard enough of the struggles or cons about life in Braselton, especially all the growth. Let me tell you some of the most enchanting things about Braselton that make this North Atlanta town so worth it. Just so many things to do and places to explore. For the number 1 pro, we have to talk about Chateau Elan because it's probably what Braselton is most known for. Besides the obvious winery and tastings you have, by far the coolest, most prestigious attraction you can invite people to when they come visit. Hey, when you come, let's have a spa day. Or how about a round of golf, or wine tour, or a wellness or fitness class? And if you're not in the mood for house guests, you can always make a reservation for luxury accommodations at Chateau Elan's guest resort. I'll let you guys decide who will pay. Now, you may not know it, but there are plenty of homes for sale and resale on the Chateau Elan property. Homes were included on the ground since its inception, and there are legacy as well as new construction homes. All of them, of course, are luxury properties with the associated luxury price tags. So if it's something you've always dreamed of, an estate on, say, Pinot Noir Drive, it could be yours. The next pro is another big Braselton attraction and is a much more high-octane experience. The Michelin Raceway Road Atlanta Motor Speedway. Speedway is a world-class road racing circuit that has motorsport spectator events all year round. It truly is an exciting family-friendly venue, and as it was 3 years ago, free admission to kids 12 and under is for all events. The biggest is the annual Motul Petit Le Mans, this year, September 30th through October 3rd. This is the sporting event in the Southeast. So, hey, if you're going to be in the area anyway, just saying. So those are two of Braselton's biggest tourist draws and examples of how modern developments have changed this now not so small town. But does any part remain unchanged? Fortunately, our next pro is that Braselton has a very active downtown, and the constant care and revitalization are a perfect homage to its historic roots. Built in 1904, the building formerly known as Braselton Brothers Department Store is still the beating heart of downtown Braselton. It's now known as the 1904 and is meticulously preserved and repurposed with locally owned shops, eateries, and upscale watering holes. There's even a gallery in the building showcasing local artists. And the rustic, historic 1904 building is located on Davis Street at Highway 53, preserving architectural relics while serving contemporary needs. Just down the street is the Braselton Town Green that hosts the local farmers market, evening movies and concerts, 4th of July fireworks, a medieval fair, holiday festival, again, just that small town feel for people who really crave a sense of community. Now, back to my original question, have all the recent changes and growth to Braselton been good or too much? They've blended the old with the new so well, in fact, it's actually created two Braseltons. Yes, the town government and local residents are committed to keeping the quaint small town charm alive with restorative nods to Braselton's history. With the downtown village and green, locally owned and operated businesses, restaurants, and shops are thriving. It just keeps things real. The other Braselton is the modern up-and-comer, progressing with new construction homes and gradually bringing familiar shopping and dining names into the town. This is driving industry and creating new jobs. Yes, there are growing pains, but the old and new Braselton complement each other very, very well. It's a really fun and unique combination and worth it, especially if you like to make this North Atlanta suburb your home. So there you have it for Braselton. If you're looking to make a move, be sure to give me a call, text, email, however you want to get a hold of me, because I plan on helping you as well as everybody else move to the Metro Atlanta area, because I absolutely love it here and I believe you'll enjoy it too when you call it your home. See you in the next video.